What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see back behind me, on what started out a cold, cloudy morning. Right now, though, it's starting to warm up a little bit, probably high 50s at the minute, and you can see the sun's trying its best to fight through these clouds, but it's got a long, hard battle ahead of it. But either way, it's some pretty decent weather out here to get some testing done. I've gotten one done so far, and this right here should be a pretty interesting blast from the past. So the jelly contraption set up, ready to go with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Only that one test done so far, so I got plenty of room to get this one done. As you can see, the heavy clothing barrier is up front as usual, with a layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got for this one is some more interesting stuff from back in the day. We got the Winchester Black Talon in 357 Magnum. Now this is a 180 grain projectile. I couldn't find any kind of ballistics obviously on this stuff. Everything I found was kind of just guesstimating back and forth, so I'm not really sure what to expect out of this. Now, unfortunately for this stuff, I have recently tested the 180 grain buffalo bore, which is absolutely fantastic. So I got a feeling there's no way this stuff right here is going to come close to that. But maybe I'll be wrong. Here's a look at your cartridge. You got a nice nickel plated case with that Lublox coated projectile there. Now, I've tested some of these in the past, I believe in 10 and maybe some other caliber. I can't really remember. All this is, you know, there was a lot of controversy back in the day, a lot of drama, which caused Winchester to actually pull this line and kind of redesign it a little bit, get rid of the coating. All this is like an oxide type of coating to prevent corrosion, but you know how people like to run with kind of wacky stories. But we're gonna give them a test out here today and see what happens. Anyway, I've got a couple different barrel lengths, basically, well, exactly the same ones I used to test that 180 grain buffalo bore. I've got a 4-inch here with the Ruger GP100, and then we've got the 6-inch Colt Python. So no matter what we get right here, this is going to be an interesting one. Let's get all this stuff set up and see what they can do. All right, let's see what kind of numbers we get out of this stuff. I'm going to do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with this 4-inch GP100 first. Now, you will see multiple readings from this lab radar. Your large numbers right here at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 across the bottom. The first one there is set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet, and then the others are set for 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. Now, remember, I don't have any kind of real good numbers on this stuff. I'll just tell you right now, if I don't see over 1,300, then this stuff's going to have to go back into retirement for sure. 1,200, 1,150, 1,175. Uh-oh. I actually forgot to mention I'm only doing a 3-round average on each one of these just because I've only got 1 box of this stuff, and I'd like to do maybe another test here coming up soon, and I don't plan on picking any more of this stuff up. So obviously this stuff is slower than I wanted to see. Let's check out the average. All right, y'all, it definitely ain't the worst stuff in the world, but it ain't nothing I'm getting real excited about. We had a 3-round average right there of 1175, extreme spread out of those 3 rounds with 50 with a 25.2 standard deviation. So 1175, just for reference, the buffalo bore average from this same GP100 was 1,378 feet per second. So 200 more FPS out of that buffalo bore. But at 1175, hopefully we still get some good performance in the gel. Let's reset it and see what the Python does. All right, let's see if this 6-inch snake can put a little heat behind them claws. For reference, again, with the buffalo bore, it was 1,516 feet per second average from this same Colt Python. Ain't no way we getting that, not even close if you ask me. Sounds good. 1241. See, we're still under 13 even with this. 1279 and 1195, so that one definitely dropped on us for whatever reason. Let's check out the average. All right, still not what I'd like to see, but it is better, obviously, through the longer barrel. We had a 5-round average of 1,238 feet per second. Now, we had that one low, so that gave us a pretty big spread of 84 with a 42.2 standard deviation. Again, keep in mind, this is just a 3 round, so take that for what it's worth. 1238 here, and if you remember on the 4-inch, it was 1175, so you talk talking about 63 feet per second difference between them. That makes total sense right there. All that being said, I'm hoping these are still going to do a good job in the gel. They should. If they don't do anything good in the gel, then these are some terrible projectiles. Well, let's get this stuff set up. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's claws to the wall jelly time. I'm gonna put one from each barrel length into the gel, starting with this 4-inch GP100. I'm really hoping we get good performance. I think we will. I think we'll get some pretty good stuff out of these. All right, gave it a pretty good wallop. Let's go see what we got. All right, y'all, that may not be buffalo bore power level, but I can't be mad at that right there. That stuff looks really nice. So I expect more good stuff out of this Python after seeing that one there. Whoo, I got very close, but I think I just missed that other one. Let's go check these out. All right, let's check out what we got down here, y'all. That was very, very close, but I managed to stay out of that one, and they look nearly identical, and that's because these things were almost the exact same velocity on these rounds at the gel here. There was like 2 or 3 FPS in between them, so you can see same kind of distance, same looking disruption right here. Everything looks nearly identical on these things. So on the top, that's the one from the GP100, comes in here, immediate expansion, fantastic energy transfer and disruption right here, all the way through this first block and then into the second block, probably 4 or 5 inches, and some fantastic expansion to go with it. And then up under that, this is the one from the 6-inch Python. Like I mentioned, looks nearly the same. Comes in here, fantastic transfer of energy again, all the way through this block, just like that first one. It looks exactly the same. I mean, this whole track looks just the same. Goes into this block, pretty much the same. You got some little wisps of distance out here. This one's probably about a 1/2 inch shy, and it might have been the same if it didn't kind of like snuggle up to this one right here. I don't think they did any kind of deformation to each other, because I think it was right at the end of its travel. So as far as the distance on these things, the one up top from the GP100, that one's at 20.5 inches. I personally think that is absolutely perfect right there. And then up underneath that, the 6-inch, I mean, we'll give that one 20, right at 20 on that one, and could have been about the same if it weren't for that projectile in the way. And here's your close look at them. That's some fantastic energy transfer right there from both of those rounds. Very, very nice. Just picture perfect performance right there, all the way through this first block. And then there you see it into the second. You can see up under there a little bit of forward momentum that you can't see past that second projectile. And then from the top, they're stacked right on top of each other, so a little bit tricky to see, but pretty much the same story. Very, very nice energy transfer from both of these rounds. I mean, they're superimposed right over each other. Just fantastic performance here. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. Very impressive looking stuff right here, just like the T-Series, SXT, the after versions of these Talons. These things are really impressive and wicked looking. When they do actually expand, you can see incredibly sharp talons, them sharp claws all the way around here, and some super, super nice expansion from both of these. Now this one right here is the GP100. This is the Python. You can actually see a difference here, even though they were basically the same velocity. This Python definitely peeled back further. You can see less of the base showing, but in either case, both of these things look picture perfect. Well, let's weigh them up and see what they look like there. They both started at 180. This one from the GP100 is at 180.0, so absolutely nothing lost there. The one from the Colt Python, once again, 180.0. These things are right on the dot. And then as far as expanded size on them, we'll start with this GP100. From point to point there, you got 729, and then a little bit bigger this way at 749. So very, very nice expansion from that one there. And then this one from the Python, you got 734 and 728. So once again, just very, very nice, wicked looking expansion from both of those. So there you go, y'all, the Winchester Black Talon 180 grain 357 Magnum. These are definitely some wicked rounds. Now, not the fastest, obviously, and it's probably a little unfair to compare everything to that buffalo bore because that stuff is truly above and beyond. The overall big picture here, these things did a really nice job. I'm kind of curious to see what they might do out of a 3-inch or even a 2-inch barrel. I didn't use a shorty because at 180 grains, this isn't something that I would personally run in a short barrel. I just don't think they would perform that well, but I could be wrong on that. Let me know down in the comments if that's something y'all might like to see. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for a pretty good 357 mag test. This one actually did a little better than I thought it was gonna do, just based on what I've seen from the T series of the 10 mil Talons. I'm pretty sure I tested those. I think they did well. They just wasn't really up to speed. Again, no, it probably is a little unfair to compare everything against buffalo bore because this stuff right here did a pretty good job, and it did really a fantastic job in the gel. Like I just mentioned, I'm kind of curious now to see what they would do through shorter barrels, so leave me some comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about this stuff. Obviously, again, you can't get this exact round anymore, but what do you think about the performance here? And let me know if you'd like to see what it would do through a 3-inch or even a 2-inch barrel. Another quick mention about these Axel GS Extreme 3.0 earbuds. These things are absolutely fantastic. They just got released. These 3.0s or the 2.0s. These are the absolute best ear pro I have personally ever used. Check them out down below if y'all are interested in some really good ear pro. Big thanks again to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got tons more really good stuff planned, so make sure you stay on the lookout. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.